Good afternoon, Professor Aye.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much for joining me in this interview. And regarding the project toward lifelong learning as an gender, I have some questions to ask. First thing is, what are some successful practices of lifelong learning in your country?
Yes, actually we are making efforts in every sectors for lifelong learning improvement. But the significant one and the successful one is about initiative non-formal primary education as an equivalency program for the continuations of education for the children to continue in the formal educations. This is a very significant practice and very successful practice in lifelong learning, so which was initiated in 2002-3, and then we introduced again in 2008 and 9, and we did 2 years program for non-formal primary education as an equivalency program with formal educations. This is our very good practice in the equivalency program for primary level.
Thank you. Then I believe that when we first implemented the program, there must have been some problems, some difficulties.
Yes, actually, you see, to try to be equivalent with the formal education is difficult to develop the curriculum because those children are out of school children and they cannot come to school and they are already dropped out from the schools, so they have the scarce time, they have not enough time for schooling. So for that we have to use the flexible programs to be able to teach the out of school children. So the difficulty is to be initiate the curriculum are developed to be initiated for timely, and also another one is volunteer teachers. We have to find out the volunteer teachers because we cannot provide much salary, and also we also have the administrative problems, but we try our best and we do the initiative project successfully.
Thank you. And then in Myanmar, the CLC or Community Learning Center should be one provider of lifelong learning. And then my question is, could you elaborate more on capacity building for CLC facilitators?
Yes, in Myanmar, in the Myanmar Education Department, there is one center, we call it MLRC, Myanmar Literacy Resource Center. So from this center, by the provisions of Japanese government and JICA, we implemented the literacy program, adult literacy program. After that, we conducted the continued education program with the provision with the establishment of community learning centers. That's why we have many community learning centers for the conducting of the other lifelong learning program, especially in the income generating programs, what we call it, continued education programs.
In Vietnam, we have a problem with funding for community learning center, which is only about $1,000 for 1 year for one center. So I was wondering, what is the funding policy for CLC in Myanmar?
Yes, actually, first in the very first phase, Japanese government supported to us. JICA supported to us, but later we also have the problems in funding. So how can we fund for CLC is from the district level. So all of the local people who are rich and who are interested in donating for the literacy programs and continuing education programs, we got the fund. But we also have some problems in what we call is to provide the CLC centers. But now in Myanmar, last 2 or 3 years ago, many NGOs, non-government organizations, are conducting the NFE programs, and they create the community learning centers for the education of the people from community. So some of the NGOs obtain the funding from the other international partnership organizations.
Do you try to obtain funding from local businesses?
Yes. Actually, when we implement the non-formal education program also, we got many donors from local businessmen. We rely on the donors from our local people. Yes.
Was it easy to ask for such donation? Were they willing to help with the lifelong learning program and non-formal education?
Because MLRC and MLRC group has to give the exposure and talk and organize the rich persons, and when they do some awarding ceremony for some achievement in NFPE, we invited the businessmen, and then their kindness and their generosity is coming up, and this is valuable donation. When they realize that, they donate for the non-formal education.
Thank you very much. I think that's enough for this short interview. Really, thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you very much to be interviewed for me also. Yes, thank you very much.